So I will be discussing the Baybayin project. We'll start with the outline, and first we will be discussing what it really is, the Baybayin project. I will be providing context and as well as the location that I have chosen primarily, and then following that we will go to the logistics and the research that I've done. And for the last part is hopefully the discussion, which I did have one question to ask. So for the introduction, the Baybayin Project is a program that seeks to revitalize the use of the ancient writing script of the pre-colonial Filipino people, Baybayin, within the Philippines and in Canada. Reason as to why I decided on this program was as upon seeing the National Museum of the Philippines Baybayin exhibition, which is a permanent exhibition highlighting the ancient script of the Philippines. And for context, Baybayin is a Philippine script. The script is an Abugida belonging to the family of the Brahmic scripts. Geographically, it was widely used in Luzon and other parts of the Philippines prior to and during the 16th and 17th centuries before being replaced by the Latin alphabet during the period of Spanish colonization. Baybayin is widely used by the coastal groups since the 16th century and were often inscribed on leaves using pigments or on bamboos using sharp objects for engraving. This was eventually replaced by the Roman alphabet, but I wanted to explore how this relates to the museum space and vision. So the museum I have selected that I wanted is the National Museum of the Philippines that is located in the capital of the Philippines, Manila. And basically the National Museum of the Philippines is, well, first of all, it's an umbrella government of organizations that oversees these national museums scattered all over the Philippines, and their collections includes ethnographic, anthropological, archaeological, and visual arts collections. And their primary mission and vision is to acquire and preserve the scholarly study and appreciation of works of art, specimens, cultural and historical artifacts. There is a lack of this revitalization aspect of their Baybayin exhibition in the National Museum of the Philippines, and it's limited to like these several pieces of paper or cloth that have evidence of Baybayin. And I wanted this program to be centered on an activity within the museum or the exhibition itself that would get the public to learn about Baybayin and learn how to write with it. I wanted to mention my plans that would include this learning and researching the research that other Filipino scholars have done on Baybayin, and if there are any other pieces of writing or these any other ways to distinguish Baybayin from its other counterparts, because there are other writing scripts in the Philippines that are similar, but this is like the main one. And I wanted to identify and address the ethical concerns that would be part of this program, because I am not certified to teach for this program, and I'm interested in reaching out to scholars or educators that have the certification to teach this. But other than that, my other plans would be to research the estimated budget for this program, which would technically classify as a public educational program. And I was interested in reaching out to nonprofit organizations or some individuals that I am connected with that are interested, and if they would be willing to sponsor this program if this does come through. And if those sponsors are not interested, I am just researching a grant that would hopefully fund the program so I can do this in the primary location that I've mentioned, which is in the Philippines. For the next one, I wanted to discuss how this relates to the community or communities, and it kind of ties in with the goals I had. These aren't all of the goals, but these are like the primary goals I had, which the first one would be to really revitalize the use of Baybayin in Filipino society and also promote the education of Baybayin to educational institutions, primarily in elementary schools, where I think it would be really cool. I think if I were a kid again and I was made to learn about Baybayin, I think it'd be really cool just to be able to write with it, because it doesn't really change the way I talk. It's just like a way of writing. It's a script, and I think it would be like, in my opinion, is a much cooler way of writing and takes a lot. And for my third goal is I wanted this to extend to museums in Canada and artist-led galleries that caters to the Filipino diaspora. These are not the only goals I had in mind. I really did wanted for this program to be, well, related to me, and I wanted it to, like, I just wanted to basically share a part of my culture and share a part of my community's culture to everyone else, to extend this to everyone in the class in Canada. And really, I'm interested in this like aspect of like sharing not only like the material, but also in this like in stories and these, well, ways of writing, ways of speaking. I think that that aspect of sharing other people's cultures, like sharing my own culture to everyone else, is such a wonderful language of love that only, I guess, humans can experience, which I think is really cool. The last one, I wanted to explore why this program is relevant, and that this ancient script of writing is one of the many proofs of resilience from my colonial ancestors. And I think that if I let this like ancient script of writing be forgotten, would mean that I'm just forgetting and ignoring my own history, because although that there's been a significant rise in the effort to revitalize aspects of the Filipino culture, the pre-colonial past of the Philippines, most of it is centered and remains in the clutches of the colonial past, ignoring this other side of the story before being colonized by Spain, and this exchange of culture and exchange of stories left behind. And just to ignore that would just mean I'm leaving behind this colorful past and stories that were left behind by those that came before me. And one part of planning this proposal was that I was able to test this out to a couple of my friends, and I had the great honor to like share to them this part of my culture, and I had been able to teach them how to write their names in Baybayin, and a couple of phrases and words that I don't think has any like English equivalent. There is a literal translation, but I think the one thing that I am really proud of is being able to share this program, this language, this script, this way of writing to other people, to my friends, to my colleagues, and I think that it's such a great honor to be the one in the position of sharing my own culture. And yeah, I guess we'll be moving on to the discussion, and I wanted to ask, I guess, if there are any other languages or scripts that you would like to explore in through this program. And I wanted to ask if there are any other languages or scripts that you would like to explore through this program, if there are any other languages or scripts that you would like to learn through this program, because I don't really want to limit this to Baybayin, to Filipino culture. I wanted this to other cultures, other languages, and I'm interested in discussing what kind of learning you would come to expect for this program, and if there are any other like ways that you think is like effective for teaching this kinds of scripts that like you might not be familiar with. And yeah, that's it. That's all for my proposal. Thank you for listening, and I hope you do answer my discussion question, because I am interested in the other languages or scripts that people might possibly want to learn through this kind of program. But yeah, thank you.